Alright, what is up YouTube? Multi-Apples here bringing another video, and today we'll be playing some Forza Motorsport 6. So let's go ahead and get this party started. Hope you're all doing well. I'm doing well, thanks for asking. Made some changes to the settings, so it's the control of the car settings, so don't expect me to do too well this race. Not very good without the assist in terms of driving, so it's probably going to be my worst performance in a Forza Motorsport video ever. So although to be fair, I did it to get it, at least attempt to get an achievement, which is to go more than 250 miles in a car, and it seems like I'm doing that right now. So if the achievement doesn't pop up, I have the settings turned out so it doesn't pop up on my it doesn't actually pop up on my any of my Xbox consoles, so. And it was popped up on my laptop in the past, but I should have gotten the achievement. I'll definitely go back to having the assists on after this race. Definitely, because I definitely need it. I'm not really controlling the car very well. So Le Mans, by the way, in France. Not been to the city that hosts the Le Mans race, but I have been to France. Been to Nice, and I've been to Paris, and I've been to a few other places in France as well. If I remember correctly, I went to Versailles as well. Like, I spent a couple of hours in Versailles. But I spent roughly a week in Paris and roughly a week in Nice, and it's not a part of France, but it's a country bordering France, and I've been to Monaco, which is the country bordering France. So I really liked Monaco. Went there for a day, for like several hours actually, not quite 24 hours, but several hours actually. It's beautiful country. Small but beautiful. I've actually been to the second and smallest and second smallest country in the world. So the second smallest is Monaco, and the smallest country is the Vatican City. And I've been to the Vatican. Went to Monaco in 2022, if I remember correctly. And I went to the Vatican City. I went to the Vatican in last year, actually, so. That was not a good race overall. Why not go to Switzerland? Some drinks with me. I have some diet cheer wine with me. And I have some zero sugar Dr. Pepper. Zero sugar strawberries and cream Dr. Pepper. With me. So, yeah. I actually like this. Go to this. Mine will be on. Sorry about that, I'm really thirsty. Start the race. Alright, I should do better now. After that poor performance at Le Mans. So we're racing in the Bernese Alps in Switzerland. I've never been to Switzerland. I know some people who have been to Switzerland and they liked it. But I've personally never been to Switzerland. Closest I've been, I think, is like Italy. I know Italy, off the top of my head, I think borders Switzerland. I'd love to go to Switzerland though. Love to visit Lucerne. I'd love to visit Bern and Geneva as well. And many other places in Switzerland. Love to see a Swiss Hockey League game and a Swiss Super League game. I don't really have a favorite a Swiss hockey team or Swiss soccer team that I like, whether it be hockey or soccer. I don't have a favorite team. I just love to go and see those sports. I mentioned going to France, but I'd love to go. Like I went during the summer, so I couldn't see an OGC Nice handball game or an OGC Nice soccer game. But I'd love to go back to Nice to see those two games, and I'd love to go back to Monaco to see the F1 Monaco Grand Prix for Formula One when that happens. So I've been to Spain, and I went to see a Real Madrid game. I spent 2 weeks in Spain. Went to see Real Madrid play Osasuna in a La Liga game in 2019. Real Madrid won. I think it was like 4-2 or 2-0. I'd love to. I didn't really start watching Real Madrid or become a Real Madrid fan until like a couple of years later. So I'd like to go back now to Madrid now that I'm a Real Madrid fan. And I was actually at the Santiago Bernabeu. So, yeah. Went to Gibraltar in that same trip for a couple of hours. I was actually sick. I think if I remember correctly, I got sick the very first day I arrived in Spain. But thankfully, it was after the La Liga game because I went to a La Liga game and then I went out for dinner afterwards and I got sick because I ate some undercooked Mexican food there and I don't remember the name of the restaurant. It was not at the Santiago Bernabeu, that's for sure. And it's my first European soccer game of any league actually. It's my only European soccer game I've been to. There are many more I'd love to go to though. I'd love to see Chelsea play because I'm a Chelsea fan. I'd love to see Fulham play because they're owned by Tony Khan and Shahi Khan, and They both own AEW as well. I would love to see Juventus play. I've been to Italy and I've been to England, so I'd love to see Juventus play, but I've never been to any Serie A games. Love to see OGC Nice, as I mentioned. I'd love to go to a Bundesliga game to see VfL Wolfsburg. Wouldn't mind seeing a soccer game in every European country, but like at the top of my list would probably be, in no specific order. Actually, yeah, outside of, I'd love to see Real Madrid and I'd love to see Ajax. Those are the two teams I want to see the most. Actually, in. And after those two teams, in no specific order, be OGC Nice in terms of soccer, VfL Wolfsburg, and Chelsea and Fulham, and CS Maritimo. They play in the second tier of Spanish, or not Spanish. They play in the second tier of Portuguese football. And I would like to see Malaga play, and they play in the Segunda Division, which is the second tier of Spanish football. And I would actually like to see any Gibraltar. Well, maybe Europa Point for Gibraltar, and then I'd love to see. I'd love to go to like Scotland to see like St Johnstone, and Wales to see the New Saints, and then Coleraine in Northern Ireland. I think those are their respective countries. I could be mixing up where Coleraine and the New Saints come from. And then, of course, I'd love to go to like Germany to see a basketball game as well. I've been to several NBA games. I'd love to see some European basketball as well. Would love to see a LNB Pro A game, which is the French top basketball league, and I'd love to see a handball game, as I mentioned, in France, and I'd love to see Real Madrid play in the Liga ACB, which is the Spanish basketball league. Oh, in Greece, I'd love to see Olympiacos play in the Greek Super League and in basketball. Alright, let's exit. So, in terms of, and I'd like to see Olympiacos and Real Madrid play in the Euro League as well. Let's go ahead and select the track. Let's do, not gonna do Nürburgring this video. Let's do the Virginia Alton. Okay, we actually need to download that, so let's do the Top Gear. Bear with me, hold on, let me make a note of something. Let's select the car. Let's do Audi. I know in terms of North American sports, I'd love to see. I know it's not a real sport, but I'd love to see lucha libre in Mexico and Puerto Rico. CMLL and AAA in Mexico, and then promotion. Sure, I can find a promotion in Puerto Rico. There's one I won't watch anytime soon. Love to see a Canadian Football League game in Canada. I'd love to see the Toronto Argonauts play. In the Canadian Football League. I've been to an NHL game, and I've been to NHL, NBA, NFL, and MLB games. All in the US. Actually. an NCAA Division One men's and women's basketball, Division One baseball, and an Division One FBS football game, and a Division One FCS football game as well. I went to the FCS football game, I think back in September, October. And I've been to two major league soccer games. I've been to multiple of the professional sports games, actually. Yeah, I went to 4 WWE SmackDown shows, all televised. 3 of them were taped, and they taped, if I remember correctly, I think 2 or 3 of them they were taped to NXT beforehand as well. For at least 2 of them. Back when the NXT wrestlers would travel with the main roster, and it was more of a main roster show. It was more of like in between main roster and developmental, instead of being its own developmental brand. And one taping a Saturday morning slam for WWE. And I went to the very first AEW All In London in 2023. That was an amazing event. Let me mute my mic really quick. Hold on. So yeah, those are the only professional wrestling events I've been to. AW All In, SmackDown, NXT when they came to not quite my hometown, but nearby, a suburb of my hometown, and Saturday Morning Slam. And AW All In. Actually, the last SmackDown I went to was last year, in March. It was in. Not all of the SmackDowns were near my hometown, but SmackDown last year I went to was in Dallas. It was in March of last year. I remember looking back at the episode. I didn't look back at all the episode. I did, fast forward a little bit, and I did actually see myself on TV in the stands. So that was pretty cool. I was wearing a Little Rock Trojan shirt actually. So I did remember. One thing that I remember was Randy Orton. He hit his signature move or his finishing maneuver. The RKO on KSI, actually. So I do remember that. Weren't any title changes at any of the WWE shows I went to, or any new inaugural champions crowned. AEW, there were some titles that changed hand at All In. Off the top of my head, the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions changed hands. Better Than You, Baby, which consists of Adam Cole and MJF. They won the ROH World Tag Team Champions, and the Acclaimed won the World Trios Tag Team Championship, I should say. They beat House of Black. And Saraya won the AEW Women's World Championship. Now, AEW had co-promoted a pay-per-view in Tokyo, Japan, Wrestle Dynasty, which was 9 or 10 days ago. I'm surprised that they didn't have more AEW title matches, but I was hoping that Tomohiro Ishii would beat Konosuke Takeshita for one of the 2 championships he had, which was AEW, and that didn't happen. So I know their next pay-per-view is going to be in Australia. which should be like the Saturday before my birthday, if I remember correctly. I think February 15th is the pay-per-view, and my birthday is the 17th of February, so I know for a fact I'm not gonna go to the pay-per-view. Stats. Actually, let's go for affinity. Each 10 cars that have actually reached max affinity status. So the next one would be Honda, actually. And I can always use Honda in the next video. I'm gonna hop off, y'all. Thanks for watching. Deuces.